Good morning. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you the setup here. It hasn't rained during the night, although this morning I've woken up and it's as overcast and gloomy and a little bit windy. Not too bad, but more windy than it's been over the last few days. So here I am. I'm just about to have some breakfast. I've got some tomatoes that were given to me by Mike, and I've got an orange and a banana and some dried fruit, and then I'm going to take the tent down, and that's me done. Moving on. The other thing I want to show you as well is because the digger had made all the ground loose, I wasn't able to get my pegs to stay in very well. So the way I've done it is I've secured the peg as deep as I can in soft soil, and then put the stones like this to so that I can get the tension on the guy ropes to get the tent nice and taut. So that's what I've done there, and the same on that one there, and it worked really well. And plenty of ventilation. That's the key. It's a great little tent. This bank to the left of me here is a levee to stop. On the other side there's a river, and at the moment it's not so big, but I was speaking to Mike last night, and he's known the river to get almost to the top of that levee when there's a summer typhoon. Dumps a load of water up in the mountains, and down here this river swells, and so that's what I'm following at the moment. I'm following the course of the river upstream to the next bridge where I'm going to cross it. So here's the river and the bridge I'm aiming for. But at the moment you can see how small the river is. It's well, it's not small, but it's got certainly not massive. But look at the actual area that it could cover in flood, right through here. So it's got the capacity to carry quite a bit of water. Anyway, I'm heading for that bridge. Okay, I'm on the bridge now, and crossing the river. I've just seen some sort of crane. I've just been stood here. This is what's good about cycle touring, actually. If I was in a car, I'd never be able to stop on this bridge. But I've just stopped, got off the bike, and got the binoculars out to look at a bird that I don't recognise. It's some sort of crane. It's not a stork or a heron. It's something different, but I can't make it out. It's just over in those rocks. This camera won't pick it out, but believe me, it's there, and I've just been trying to identify it, but it's just that little bit too far away. But it's something that I've not seen before. And what the plan today is to do is to stay on the flats, and you may have noticed some hills in the background. I'm going to skirt along the left-hand side, the western side of those hills. Hopefully get onto a smaller road. I'm not too sure about that though. And then I'm going to go to Taiwan. So that's the plan for today. Okay, you can see spread out behind me what is the western plainlands of Taiwan, all the flat area that I've been travelling through, and as you can see, it's very built up. Yeah, not much more you can say about it. It's just built up, massive population, and that's what I've been travelling through this morning. I've been following a road which has tried to stay out of the that's what I've been contending with, those bleeding lorries. The road I've been on has tried to stay out of the main city areas, but what it's done is it's skirted along the edge of these hills here. But now I've come to a point where the hills are slightly lower, and what I've decided to do is come up into the hills, away from all that clutter, and basically I'm heading for Khao Tun. Then there's a spider's web of main roads, unfortunately, but where I'm trying to get to is Wu Feng, just here. And at Wu Feng there's a famous earthquake museum. I think it's called 912, which is the date, the 12th of September 1999, when one of the biggest earthquakes in recent history struck this part of Taiwan. So I'm really interested in going to see that, and I hopefully by the time I get there I'll have enough time to have a look round and find somewhere safe to store my bike, but that's all to come. So okay, I'm over the top of the hill now, and we're looking down on the eastern side of the hill and out onto the flats of another massive river that comes down off of the mountains. The mountains are just to the right of the picture there, but as you can see, once we get down onto the flats again, very built up, and then in the distance, I'm not too sure whether the camera will pick it out, but just the other side of that pylon on the horizon, in the smog, you can just make out the super city of Taiwan, and that's where I'm heading tonight. That's where I'm going to be sleeping. I've got a hostel booked in Taiwan. But first of all, I want to go to the earthquake museum, which is somewhere in that lot. This hill's very exciting. I'm going down some nice stretches like this, but then I'll come across a hairpin bend, or a very sharp bend, and where the lorries have come down there, one of them spilt diesel all in the road. So I've got a line of diesel to contend with on the bends. It's a good adrenaline rush. Well, I've come all the way to the earthquake museum for them to tell me that I can't take my bike in. So I've come quite a way out of my way to get here. Taking up those steps, there's a little man in a Chinese hat with no hands who's telling me I can't go up there, I can only walk. So I'm going to see if I can get in by hook or by crook, but he's quite persistent. Next idea is to try and hide my bike somewhere in the bushes. So, not ideal, but I'd really like to go and see the Earthquake Museum. So let's see what I can do. Of course, the trouble with putting stuff in bushes is snakes, and I'm looking at this just up here. I thought I'd chain it to the fence. Oh, chain it to the fence, but that's not going to work, is it? Because I just imagine something in that leaf litter that's going to be poisonous. Okay, even better. I found a security guy at this building just behind me, and after a bit of a session on Google Translate, he eventually understood what I wanted, and I've locked my bike up in a security room that he monitors. So all is good, and I'm going to go and have a look at the Earthquake Museum. What they talk about here is the earthquake uplift. So if you see this sandy layer here, that is actually the amount that this part on the right hand side of the screen has been lifted up, which is about 1.5 meters. But it's saying that further north from here, the uplift was shown to be nearly 10 meters. So it's even worse further north. Here's a map of all the active fault lines in Taiwan, and as you can see, the active ones are the red ones, and this is the area. I've cycled up from the south here, and I've been following pretty much this fault line here up to here. This is where I am now, Taiwan County. They've got a seismogram here, which measures earthquakes, shows on the screen, and I can just demonstrate this. This is how sensitive it is. I'm just going to, with one finger, I'm just going to give the table a tap. You ready? Here's the tap. Well, first of all, it's all 0. I'm just going to give the table a tap, and it sets the sensor off. Look. 3, and this is how much movement it moves side to side and up and down. And it'll even, if I just tap the ground, it shows a 2. And if I go further away and tap the ground here even, a bit harder, it shows another 2 and a 1. So that's how sensitive they are. Pretty good, eh? This little lad's going to have a go now. So the museum here is actually set in the grounds of a school, which is quite poignant really, because the school building collapsed. Thankfully, the earthquake happened at night, so the school wasn't occupied by children, but the government was criticised because the building regulators hadn't made it earthquake proof, bearing in mind it's a school, and that was the case with a lot of buildings. And you can see here the running track. I'm on the running track, and this is what happened to the running track. Obviously, any running track that you've been on at school would be on a flat field, but this is how much the earthquake lifted the ground on the running track, and it's a great demonstration of actually how powerful that was to to just raise the running track up by that much. And then there's this ridge running round, which is obviously along the fault line, I would imagine. And as the running track would have gone round in its egg shape, like all running tracks do, if you see the Olympics or any track type event, it comes out over here. And again, just suddenly, from being a flat field, just rises up. Look at that, and there's the starting positions there. Look where you would start. Dink, 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 dink. Quite sobering, really, to think that I'm stood right here where only 1999 this happened. So in my lifetime, in my son Jack's lifetime, this has just been rauxed up about half the height of the house. Of course, because a running track is an actual measured distance, having a fault line run right through the middle of it and then it being active and have an earthquake gave seismologists and geologists a great opportunity to accurately record the actual uplift and the way that the ground was ripped apart. So it made it really accurate, and what was surprising to geologists and seismologists was that this kind of uplift and the actual length of the fault is very rarely seen in the world. So this was a great opportunity for them, although a sad one, because obviously it's now no longer a school, and that's had to be moved elsewhere. But it's quite stunning, actually. I'm actually stood on the uplift of an earthquake. It's happened in my lifetime. I mean, I hear stories of the San Francisco earthquake and everything, but that kind of was a long time ago. It's like really recent. Actually, shows you in the classrooms now. Look, you can see all the cracks in the walls. It's all been shored up now, but there's the chalkboard and the little pull-down screen for the slide projector, and a place where you can put the TV. And all the children would have been sat in their classes. I've actually got seismographs here, look, on the ground, showing you any earth tremors. Nothing at the moment, thankfully. Some pictures of the classrooms as they were. Stood outside the north classroom building here now. Can you imagine if this had happened during the day and this had been filled with children? So This is look at the pillars, how they've buckled at the bottom, and then as I pan round, all two floors have just collapsed like a pack of cards down on each other. Ba-dum, bang. And you can see that little row of palm trees, just the little ones, just in the background there. That they're on a rise of ground, and that rise of ground is where the ground was uplifted. So that's actually the fault line right there, and then that runs right through the middle of the school. And in fact, you can see where the tiles on the floor just here, just in front of me, have been uplifted, and then the slope goes along, and well, yeah, it's scary, isn't it? You send your kids to school for a safe place to learn and find friends, not to have it built right on a fault line with substandard concrete. Quite horrible, really, thinking that what a catastrophe this could have been. Just going to the students' artwork gallery. This is the roof. This is the tiles on the floor. Look at that. You'd have that amount of space to survive if you're at the front in this bit, and then at the back you'd be crushed. Again, this looks like there's the ceiling and then the floor to another floor here. You just wouldn't stand a chance. Some images here of some of the rescue attempts and damage. This is along the whole fault line, not just from the school where I am, because the damage in the fault line went on for miles, right up through this part of Taiwan. Here's some pictures of what the school looked like before it collapsed. Some of the pupils. And just over here is the main entrance into the school. It's there. Just taking a walk over the top. See how the roofs all come down. I'm just walking over the fault line now here, look. Here's the smashed concrete and the line of small palm trees that I pointed out earlier. Okay, so that was the Earthquake Museum of Taiwan. Very humbling experience actually. And so I'm now off to Taiwan, which is about probably about 15 kilometers from here. It's 3:45, so I'm hoping to get there before it gets dark really. If I can find the youth hostel, that'd be really helpful. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm in central Taiwan, and as usual it's bedlam. It's just gone 5 o'clock, so I've got about 45 minutes before it gets dark. That's 45 minutes to try and find the train station. Now that sounds easy, but the last city I was in, it was quite difficult to find. So once I find the train station, I can work my way back out to the youth hostel. But it's times like this where, although I feel like I'm getting used to it, then it throws you a wobbly, and it makes you feel a bit on edge that you're in the middle of this huge, great city. This is the third biggest city in Taiwan. God knows what the population is. Millions. And where do you sleep if you can't find the youth hostel? So it is a bit worrying, and I'll be glad when I find it. It's a bit of a worry. Okay, railway station sign, it's looking good. Right, managed to get to Taiwan station, which is good, so I can work my way out from here and hopefully find the hostel in this lot. Ah, look at that, youth hostel. I wonder if that's the place. All because it says it doesn't mean that it is, so that's what I've learned. So we'll go from there. Oh, spot on. I've managed to find myself the hotel, pretty simply this time, so that was so much better. Here's my room, very standard little room. It's cost me about £23. No, less than that actually, because I've just played a bit of a Tunisian trick on him and done a bit of bartering and wore the bloke down. It was going to be 1,400. He knocked it down to 1,000. Then I produced my youth hostel card, because this is an international youth hostel, and he stuck with 1,000. Then I showed him the website, which showed that the price was 1,000, and I should get a reduction with my youth hostel card. Boom! Managed to get down to 800 anyway. So 800 is, 4 is 10, so 20 quid. 20 quid, one night, in a room, and a nice clean shower as well. All's good. Oh, I'll tell you what as well, I'll show you out the window. I'm on the 3rd floor and window slides open. It's got a mozzie net and it's just getting dark. I've got a little supermarket opposite and some little restaurants as well. And bonus, just down the road, Starbucks coffee for the morning. So it's all good. It's all good.